How's it going, folks, and welcome to the start of our final season, I think, here at Atalanta. If we bomb out the Champions League again, maybe I'll be sat here in another 12 months in game time, weeping into my hands as I suggest there's another final season. But no, I think this is pretty much do or die for us. Of course, last couple of episodes have been a transfer special. Today, we have deadline day. I still have £72.5 million transfer budget. I would still like to sign some players today. Let's see how that goes, shall we? How's it going, folks, and welcome back to episode number 38 here with Atalanta. And well, today we have Genoa and Lazio in Serie A. Two games that we should be winning. First one should be more straightforward. There is an international break. Tomorrow is deadline day, so it's a little bit chaotic. I have also had one game already in the league. That was against Spal. I didn't deem it sexy enough as a match to come back for to start the season. It didn't feel like an important game. No offence to Spal, our former affiliates, but we did beat them 5-1. It was actually 1-1 at half-time, but in the second half, we went a little bit crazy. You can see here, Luca, Raspadori, Ricci, Sesko, all getting on the score sheet. And yeah, we started this season, as we ended the last one, with a lot of goals. Now, in terms of transfers, nothing has happened since you were last here. Of course, Pessina left to go to Napoli for 40 million. In his place, we bought in Clemente, who obviously wasn't actually brought in his place, but we spent some money on him. 18 years old. He looks like he could be a good, useful player for the future. Of course, with Pessina leaving, we have all this money in the bank. I do intend to spend it tomorrow. And well, to be honest, one of the big headlines to start this season has just been all the injuries that we are wrestling with. For the first game of the season, Almada and Zakarian both are unavailable, and to be honest, Zakarian very unlikely to feature in the first game today. The only silver lining with all these injuries we've got is there is 2 weeks between this game and our third match of the season with an international break. So hopefully, by the Lazio game, the majority of these players will be back in contention. I've just realised Luca is also not available for today's game, so he now needs to be removed from the team. Yeah, we're not going to be filling the bench today, I don't think. So Zakarian and Almada are out for this Genoa game. With that in mind, we've had to make some changes with the team. Rovella and Ricci are going to play in the centre mid on attack kind of position. Of course, Ricci, very capable of playing here. It is one of his better roles. And it's a similar story for Rovella. I feel like we have lots of midfielders kind of cut from the same cloth. Very versatile players, well-rounded players who have a bit of creative flair to them, I suppose. That is certainly how I view these two, with 16 and 17 passing respectively. Of course, DeMarco and Musa are going to be either side with Tonali behind. Up top for this game, we've got Raspadori and Sesko. Moise Kean is yet to make his debut for the club. He might come on off the bench today. And at the back, we are going with a full strength 11. That means Marco is in goal. Marco, by the way, I hope this is still going to be the case. He was in the Media Dream 11 at centre-back. He still is in the Media Dream 11, not at centre-back, in goal. Imagine if he was in the Media Dream 11 at centre-back. That would be mental. But at centre-back, Bastoni and Scalvini are in there. Tonali, Rovella, Raspadori, Sesko in there too. We are actually starting to look like the big bad of Serie A, and I'm all for it. I mentioned two of our defenders just then in Bastoni and Scalvini. Of course, Mancini in between them, going to play as our ball-playing defender at the heart of the team. And, well, that is the 11. On the bench, we've got a few different options. Of course, as I've already mentioned, a few options lacking as well, which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully, we don't get any more injuries to the centre of midfield, because we are starting to run out of players. So hopefully we're going to continue our winning start to the league season. This is certainly a game against Genoa that I expect us to win. They lost their opening game of the season. I feel like they're there for the taking. When you look at their team, I mean this in the most polite way possible, it's not a scary team. We should be scoring lots of goals. This should be fun. Let's show what we're all about. I feel like I've just set myself up quite expertly to get embarrassed in this game, but hopefully that's not going to be the case. Of course, Bastoni, the £115 million centre-back, donning Atalanta colours for this, well, first live commentary debut of his. Of course, his only debut. You don't get more than one debut in a live commentary. This is your moment, Bastoni, to show us what you're all about. DeMarco, Raspadori, the build-up play was nice. It's not cleared away. Musa heads it in. What has just happened there? What was that? I think... Did one defender kick it against his teammate? I'm so confused. The ball's in the back of the net. We're checking VAR for something. If Musa scored a header, it's an absolute gift. I'm not going to complain. The goal's been given. Build-up play down this left-hand side was actually really, really nice. DeMarco and Raspadori, little 1-2, crossed in. Vasquez booted it against his teammate, flew up in the air, And Musa headed it. Was it actually Sesko? Did Sesko get a touch on it? Is that what VAR was checking? Sesko did get a touch on it. I take it all back. He was onside. It counts. Sesko with the goal. I think he stole that from Musa, but I don't blame him. Anyway, we've got another chance here. Ball whipped in. Sesko, he nearly scored a second header inside the first 20 minutes here. We are all over them in the early stages. Still trying to get that second goal, though. A second goal, and then we can actually enjoy ourselves. But it feels like it's a case of when we get the second goal at this moment of time, not if we'll get a second goal. Maybe it can come here. Richie headers it. Pusin, good stop by Genoa's keeper. Could be a long afternoon for them. I mean, I was sat waiting for the highlight to end, but the highlight is still going on. The keeper's lumped it forward. We've been gifted the ball back, and now Raspadori's through. Could he score here? Yes, he can. It's 2-0 inside 20 minutes. Musa has 2 assists already this game. The right midfielder doing bits out on that side. This time he's threaded it through to Raspadori, and while both our strikers on the score sheet, Musa's ball here was absolutely sensational. Raspadori turns on the afterburners, slots it into the bottom corner, makes it 2-0. There's now a kickoff highlight for Genoa. I say for Genoa, it involves Genoa. Will it be for them? Will it be against them? I suppose any neutrals watching this game who want a nice competitive match, they're going to hope that Genoa get the next one. I'm sat here expecting us to wrestle back the ball and then hit them on the break. But I'll tell you what, they've turned us there, and it's Bianchi through. He hits it. Bastoni puts in one block, squared to Zivkovic. Maybe I shouldn't get quite so complacent. That was an okay chance. And well, I thought for a second we were about to have a deja vu moment as Musa tried to play through Raspadori. On this occasion, it is defended. Remember when I said about the whole centre mid injury thing? No more? Game wasn't listening. Yeah, Richie is out. With that in mind, we're going to have to bring in, I think, Luis, who I actually really, really like as a player. Luis has been developing crazily. If we just compare him with Richie here, I mean, you could probably make an argument that he's better than Richie now. This man's 20 years old. He's left-footed. Why am I not playing him more? I'll tell you why, because I spent a lot of money on Richie, and so I feel like I have to get my money's worth. But Luis is on the pitch. We'll see what he can do. Model citizen personality, a bright spark for the future. And while speaking of the devil, he's won the ball, played it to Raspadori, and now we're on the attack. Sesko holds up the play nicely, switches over to Musa, who's going to try and put that in. I mean, he's on for the hat-trick of assists. That wasn't the best pass I've ever seen him pull off there, though. Kicked it straight down the keeper's throat. It's lumped clear, but back with Musa, who at this point I want to get a third assist in this game. Luis, fresh off the bench, plays it through to Sesko, who is fouled. Are we checking whether that was in the box or not? I don't think it was in the box. I could be wrong. It didn't look in the box to me. It was Jamal Lewis, who is a long way from home in Northern Ireland, playing in Italy here. Was it a penalty? No. I mean, we will have the free kick. Is something going to happen from the free kick? Is that why I'm being shown this? DeMarco whips it over everyone. I guess I was shown it for no reason. Ravella, Musa, dinks it. DeMarco back post isn't going to get there. Ball lumped forward, but I feel like we just win these. We just deal with these. If you lump it forward to the likes of Bastoni, Mancini and Scalvini, you're asking for trouble, and oh my word. I don't know what Ravella's just done. Bastoni's claiming the assist, which I guess he can claim. It's 3-0, and that is an outrageous goal. Bastoni nods it down to DeMarco, who lays it back. This ball forward is superb first time. Ravella takes it down, and then in off the crossbar. Okay, I'm not going to complain. I feel bad for Genoa at this point. We're not even at half-time yet, and it's 3-0, and now Luis is trying to play through Sesko. Jamal Lewis gets there first. So many of these balls were just trying to get in behind. They seem so insistent to play a high line. And against Sesko, I know he's big, but he is also quick, but especially against Raspadori, we'll just get him behind like this. I mean, is Sesko onside? He is onside. It's 4-0. I don't know why they're trying to play an offside trap. I don't know why they're trying to play a high line. I'm not going to complain, though. Tonali with a corner. We're looking for a fifth. Sesko's hit the crossbar. We are not being merciful here. Okay, half-time in this match, 4-0. I think we are the baddies, but I've kind of enjoyed it, so it's fine. Genoa with the ball deep in their own half, trying to play their way out of trouble, but we kind of limit their ability to play out, and then they're forced to go long, and we just get the ball and pull them all out of shape. It's like they're trying to press, but without any real purpose. And the gaps just emerge. Raspadori takes it down. Raspadori hits the post. I thought Musa was about to get that third assist. The wait goes on. Maybe I will make some subs. You know what? Sesko, you've done okay. So's Raspadori. But let's get in Moise Keane. And elsewhere, I'm going to bring in Vina. I'm going to bring him in and play him at left centre-back, just because I am trying to get him to learn to play as a wide centre-back a little bit sooner for us. He's unhappy at the moment because I didn't let him go to Liverpool. Maybe if I give him a few, appearances like this, maybe he'll be a happy camper in no time and I can get him signing a new deal. Anyway, it's still 4-0. There's been no goals in the second half. Maybe Moise Kean can galvanise us a little bit. In this second half, I have just told the players to slow down the play a little bit more just to save legs, and or maybe with that we've not created quite as much. But ultimately, it's 4-0. This game is done. We don't need to worry about things. A few more goals would be nice, but it's not going to make or break things, I don't think. Mickelson wins it. It's played forward to Bianchi. I mean, Marco might have something to do here. One-on-one. He had something to do. He didn't do it. They ruin our clean sheet. I'm sad. Bastoni with the ball to Vina, Luiz, Tonali. Can we get one nice sexy goal to end this half? We're losing the second half 1-0. We need to get the equaliser. Sesko holds it up okay, gets dispossessed, but we win it back immediately. Ravella to Moise Kean, who's going to switch over to DeMarco. Lots of space in front of him. Players queuing up in the middle. Musa was one of them. Cleared away, bonus for us, Scalvini. Now with Musa. Scalvini again. Look at this build-up. This is nice. DeMarco takes the ball down. He's fouled in the box. He goes down in a heap. I mean, that looks like a penalty. It should be a penalty. Is it a penalty? Football Manager, is it a penalty? It's not a penalty. I'm never going to become an official. I'd be rubbish at it. Full time here, 4-1 win. Good result. No clean sheet. Maybe a little bit of a shame. Sesko picks up man of the match. Musa looked absolutely sensational. Scalvini and also Bastoni getting assists from the back is also always good to see. And, we go into an international break and deadline day tomorrow. Top of the league. Positive 7 goal difference. Not a bad start. I say not a bad start. Richie's out for 3 weeks. I'm going to have to send him to a specialist for fractured ribs. We've got this international break, so I guess it's not the worst injury in the world. But when you look at the list of injuries, especially the number of centre mids here, it's hard not to be slightly worried. Deadline day is today. We're going to take part in it. We're going to see what happens. Worth noting, and I didn't mention this earlier because I thought it'd be something nice to share to start with Perrin getting injured, I kind of realised maybe I needed another goalkeeper. So I've been looking at Italian goalkeepers and I'm trying to sign Rulli from Villarreal. I think he'd be a really, really good signing. I didn't realise, but he is part Italian. As part of trying to sign him, I told Villarreal I'd let them try and sign a replacement first. I don't think they've signed a replacement yet, and they asked for a delay. I'm still hoping this deal will go through. £6 million for a very, very good backup goalkeeper, I think would just be a sensible bit of business. That's one thing I'd like to get done today. There's 15 hours left, though, and I kind of want to go back for Zaniolo. Am I allowed to go back for Zaniolo? Is he even going to want to talk to me? I mean, there's only one way to find out, right? We'll put in a bid of 54 million and see if he wants to talk. Of course, wanted him last episode. He signed a new deal and then wouldn't chat. He still doesn't want to chat. Moving on. So, I mean, the issue I've got is I've got 72 million and it would just feel like a waste not to spend it at all. But then the question becomes, who do you sign? Do you go for another centre mid? I don't really need another centre mid. Do I just go for someone like Dybala just to sign Dybala, really? How much do they want for Dybala? Apparently they don't want to sell him. I mean, understandably, he is very, very good. I don't know what to do with this money. I've picked up this transfer deadline day and I was just hoping Zaniolo would join. I didn't really plan for if he said no. I was just looking at transfer listed Italians. A familiar face popped up. Juan Musso, 31 years old now, our former goalkeeper. We sold him to Leicester for 20 million. He's not done very well in the last 2 years, it's safe to say. I mean, he's on a 6.87 rating for this season and they're asking for £37 million for him. They ain't getting £37 million from him. I thought we were lucky to get 20 million. He's rubbish. I'm sat looking at our team, and the one thing that we lack, and we actually lost a little bit of with Pessina, is someone who can play as a centre attacking mid and who sits on the bench. Obviously, ordinarily, Almada, Zakarian and Musa all start for us, as does Raspadori. When it comes to our actual bench, when I have kind of the best 11 selected, there isn't a whole lot of attacking midfielder options. You've obviously got Moise Kean and Luca in terms of strikers, and then a load of centre mids. Of course, some of them can play as centre mids on attack, but maybe actually getting in a centre attacking mid, someone who can actually do a bit of linking up, someone who we can throw on as a bit of a roll of the dice, a bit of a wild card, so to say, could be an option. Of course, Dybala, not actually an option. There are a few players here, though. Players like Joaquim Correa. I mean, he is not a bad player. At 31 years old, not young anymore, but his value is not too high. Neither are his wages. With good acceleration, he's the kind of player you can bring on against a tiring defence and could be semi-good. Lo Celso is currently playing for Boca Juniors. That's a weird transfer, but who am I to question it? Gabbiadini, no. And I guess the only other options really would be someone like Lorenzo Pellegrini, who can actually play as a centre mid and as a centre attack mid and in the wide areas. I mean, as a centre mid on attack, he is not a bad player at all. 29 years old, valued at 34 to 50 million. Is it too much? Is it too much? I can't help but feel like I've sold Pacina just to sign a player who's almost identical. I mean, to be fair, when you look at the comparison, polygon-wise, they look even. But when you actually look at it like this, suddenly I feel like Pellegrini is more comparable than I realised, I suppose. We sold Pacina for 40 million. Pellegrini is a year older and I think slightly better. He's just not very exciting, you know. The only other man is Georgien de Arrasqueta. Please tell me if that's correct or not. I think I did okay by my standards. He's maybe a little bit more exciting. My concern with Pellegrini is I have lots of players who are very similar to him. Centre mids who can do some kind of creative stuff. I am actually thinking that Joaquim Correa could be the kind of player that I was looking for, really, in terms of a bit of an X factor. You know, good flair, good first touch. His record for Inter isn't exactly amazing. They've not been playing him a ton. To be fair, I don't expect him to play a load for us anyway. But at £7 million, if indeed we can get him for around that, I don't think that's that bad. What about 8.5 million? Can we do some negotiating, Inter? We can do some negotiating. I feel like he's a bit of a luxury player, but we're in a luxurious position. And looking at it, he knows that he's a fringe player. He knows he's going to be on the periphery. And this signing just kind of makes sense. I'm going to try and get him on a 3-year deal that's slightly cheaper. I mean, it's not the big blockbuster thumbnail signing that I was hoping for, but it's different. So Arsenal have made an offer for Papetti. They've not offered very much money at all. I'm going to turn it down. Man City have made an offer for Pabega. They've offered 48 million. 48 million for him. As tempting as it is, I just don't think it's that good of a deal. But if I did sell him, could I go and get Locatelli? Would Locatelli then become an option? Is Locatelli even that much of an upgrade, I suppose, is the next thing. I think maybe this comparison answers it. Locatelli's 89 million, though. That's quite a lot, isn't it? 88 million. And do I even need Locatelli? Like, probably not. But it is Locatelli. I don't know what to do. It's 33 million up front to get the 72 million. I could afford it. I could afford Locatelli. Zaniolo was the sensible transfer. Now I'm just looking to spend money because we have it. I mean, Malpelli, not for sale. Please leave him alone. I'll have an offer. I'll make an offer and see what they say. If I bid 88 million, that's for 98 plus more. I'm not spending 90 million pounds on him. I don't need another centre mid. Why am I here? What am I doing? Okay, I'm going to reject this Pabega bid. I really like Pabega. I think he's a very good squad player for what he offers. And ultimately, I don't really want to be selling him now on deadline day. It might be a slightly different story if Zaniolo is around, because I think Zaniolo could compete with him in terms of they are both left-footed centre mid options. But I'm just not really in the business of selling our best players. And when I look through the options that are available in terms of partially Italian players, whilst Locatelli is right up there as one of the best, I don't feel like he's that significant an upgrade, I suppose, on what we've already got. I mean, with 12 hours left of deadline day here, my big worry is the Rulli deal going to happen? Are Villarreal going to be able to sign another goalkeeper? Good news for us is the Correa deal can be confirmed. I'm going to confirm that signing. I think he offers something that we've lacked at times. The ability to have someone on the bench who we can throw on and go into a more attacking shape is always nice. At 31 years old, yeah, he's not got a load of years left ahead of him. But I think in terms of the price that we're paying, he's a good short-term option. If he wins us a couple of, games single-handedly with sub-appearances, I'll consider it money well spent. Elsewhere, people are still bidding on Malpelli. Please leave Malpelli alone. Malpelli, not available. Why is he transfer listed by request? What do you mean? What do you mean you're transfer listed by request? When did this happen? He's leaving on a free at the end of his contract. What is when did this happen? Was this today? Have I missed this at some point? This is embarrassing. So we signed him for 4.2 million. He wants to leave. I can't get rid of this. I've got it set to reject all transfer bids. I'll respond to bids myself. And we'll ask for 7.5. Surely someone has 7.5 million for a world-class talent. I say world-class loosely. Okay, Aston Villa have bid it. I'll take the money. As good as I think Malpelli is, I was a bit hesitant about giving him a new contract, even though I knew he only had a year left. But the fact that he's leaving on a free anyway, questionable potential, he's injury prone, he's an unhappy camper. 7.5 million for him, it makes sense. I have been quite good, I thought at least, at renewing the contracts of some of my better younger players. You can see all the players with good potential, they are on longer deals. There are a couple of players like Malpelli who are... maybe I should be giving them new contracts, but I'll worry about it after deadline day. There's no one who I'm desperately worried about, I don't think, except Malpelli. But we're about to get 7.5 million for him, so it's fine. Okay, Malpelli is leaving the club, 7.5 million. Basically, he funded the Correa move. That's how I'm going to kind of justify that sale. He's a good player. I don't think he's that good. I think we've done well to get the money we've got from Villa for him, to be honest. I don't want to say it with 7 hours left, but I think we might have done all the business that we're going to do. Apparently, some of our players are attracting interest, but I've not had any bids on them. I think a lot of our transfer window now just depends on, is Rulli going to join us? Well, are Villarreal going to be able to find someone they can bring in for him? Doesn't look promising at the moment. Milan have made an offer for Scalvini of 59 million. No, not selling him on deadline day. Riboli... no. I mean, anyone who's bidding on your players with 5 hours left, are they really that serious? Although, Omar, I do kind of want to get rid of. I keep accepting bids for him and he just turns them all down. No one wants to sign him permanently. I don't want him here. I'm hoping he'll get the hint sooner or later. Okay, I'm trying one last Hail Mary of a play with 3 hours left. I'm offering to loan Zaniolo for the year, pay all his wages, and then pay the mandatory fee of 54 million at the end of the year and sign him then. I don't know if this is going to work. He's probably just not going to want to talk to me anyway, but I can try. I tried and failed. Move on. It was a Hail Mary. It didn't work. I don't know why I thought that would work, but it's very Italian, isn't it, to sign players where you loan them and then buy them at the end of it. So I thought I'd embrace the culture that I've been surrounded by. Hasn't worked for me there. 3 hours left. The Rulli deal is the only thing I have going on. It's not been cancelled yet. I still want to spend the 71 million. I really thought deadline day was going to be exciting. I can only apologise. The Rulli deal's fallen through. I've got 45 minutes to find a goalkeeper. It's not happening. I'm going to go curl up in the fetal position. Transfer deadline day's done. I've signed Joaquin Correa. Success? No, not success. Let's not pretend. Okay, that is the transfer window done. You can see the roundup here into the biggest spenders. We had the biggest deal, £115 million for Bastoni. Inter made the biggest deadline day deal, £65 million for Maxi Gomez. They got desperate, didn't they? Just looking at the total wage expenditures, you can see here we have the 4th highest wage budget right now. Still a little bit behind the likes of Milan and Juve, but we're still not a million miles away from them, I suppose. We are becoming one of the big dogs, I feel like, at this point at Atalanta. Sadly, our spending on deadline day didn't really show that. Anyway, our next game is in 12 days. We're taking on Lazio. I'm going to get to that one. Should be a challenging game. Should be a fun game. Hopefully, though, we're going to come out on top. Okay, game number 2, taking on Lazio. A Lazio team that last season had a season to forget. They finished down in 10th. Remember 2 years ago when they finished 3rd? Remember that season where Immobile was going absolutely crazy? Well, maybe age is starting to catch up with him slightly. Only 27 goals scored last season. 47 the year before that. This year, he's not scored yet. So he's probably now going to score a hat-trick against us. So in terms of our team selection, 2 injuries to speak of. Ricci and Ame are out. Zakhayan still coming back from injury. As a result, it's a slightly different look team today. You can see Almada here had a fitness test and passed it to play half the match. So it's my intention to play him for half the game, then look to bring him off. In terms of the team, we're going to go with Raspadori and Sesko up top. Luiz is going to come in. I want to give this guy more and more first team football because, well, we picked him up for 1.3 million. It's currently looking like the bargain of a century. He has developed so much, it feels like, over his time at the club. And, well, I hope he's just going to get even better age 20 with more and more first-team football. Besides him in the team, there isn't really too much else weird or wonderful to speak of. It's a very strong team. We've had the international break. We had a fair few injuries before the international break. Players have come back now. And, well, hopefully we're going to really hit our stride now this season. Okay, let's see how we get on in this game. Just looking at Lazio's team, they're playing a 5-3-2. Immobile starts up front, so keep an eye on him. Of course, with them playing a 5 at the back, I think it's going to be interesting to see how we match up against them, especially with our 2 centre mids. I feel like against teams with a few more players behind the ball, we do struggle that little bit more with our system. We somewhat saw that against PSG last season in the Champions League where they played a 5 at the back. But I feel like even with a 3-man kind of centre mid setup, with our players, with our ability, we should hopefully be able to find spaces to work in and hopefully break them down today. Of course, I talk about hoping that we're going to be able to break them down, and here we are now in the 29th minute with, well, our first chance of the game. Raspadori cuts inside, hits it. It's the first highlighted chance. We have been massively on top in this game. 13 shots to their 2. And, well, we've waited a while for the first highlight, and it's like a bus. You wait for 1, then 2 come along at once. Unfortunately for us, it's not the end we want to see it in. And unfortunately for us, it's Addons Ruiz scoring for Lazio, a team who, even when they're not doing that well, they're still just a thorn in our side. They're still just annoying. And for the first time all season, albeit this is only game number 3, we do find ourselves behind here. Hysaj plays through Addons Ruiz, who hits it, and Marco just couldn't get anything behind the ball there. That's annoying. Looking for an immediate response. Having gone a goal down, this is now a bit of a test for us. We've not found ourselves in this situation yet this year. Let's see what we can do. Bastoni and DiMarco having their own little game on the left-hand side. Bastoni all the way back to Marco. Lazio not looking too keen to press, to be honest. They are happy to sit back, which is unfortunate because when teams press against us, I feel like we can really carve them open. Although, I say that, I mean, we carved them open there. That should have been a goal, shouldn't it? Raspadori's kicked it at the keeper again. It's another golden opportunity that's wasted. We're coming up to half-time. We've been massively on top. It doesn't matter because it's 1-0 Lazio on the scoreline. I'm getting shouty. I'm throwing a water bottle. You've been terrible. Sort it out. Raspadori's on a 6.9. You know what? Moise Kean, on you come. I've hauled off Raspadori. I've brought in our new shiny striker we signed for 29 million. Moise Kean has the ability, I really do believe, to be an important player for us on off the bench. Now it's up to him to show that that is actually what he's capable of. Unfortunately for us, we might need to do some more defending here, although Mancini reads that well. That could have gone south quickly. And that was a 2-on-1 there for a moment. And, well, now it is with Moise Kean, the new transfer, the new man on the block. And, well, there's a million ways I imagine that shot could have hit the back of the net. That isn't quite how I pictured it going when he hit it over. A chance wasted. Hopefully not one we're going to live to regret, though. Napoli in their game winning 3-0. Why can't we be like Napoli? Immobile hits it. It hits the post. Get it away. That's not fun. I'm not enjoying this. Goal kick, Lazio. I feel like we're having loads of chances, but not actually seeing them as highlights. We need to try and create a few better opportunities, but we're creating something, and that's always good. And now, well, Moise Kean is through. Can he get his first goal for the club? No, he can't. Imagine if he just never scores for us. It's going to be very upsetting. We do still have a corner. I mean, let's be positive. Let's believe. We've had a few one-on-ones. We've not taken them. And you can't win a game of football if you don't score. You can't win a game of football as well if you're a goal down and you don't score. This has been bad, hasn't it? Right, you know what? 20 minutes left. It's time for a roll of the dice. I was told Almada shouldn't play too much this game, and I've kind of just ignored that. I'm bringing in the new man, Correa. On you come. Time to shine. You're going to play as a shadow striker in the middle. DiMarco as a winger. Musa as a winger. Going to tell Tonali just to play as a deep line playmaker on defend, but keep Luis on centre mid on attack. I think we need to get men further up the pitch. I'm just thinking about if I want to put our wingers on attack. I've got one sub left if I want to use it. Moise Kean has not covered himself in glory since he came in. Luis hasn't been exactly incredible either. You know what? Zach Kyan, on you come. He's a man who gets goals for us. He and Correa, they're going to be the difference makers. Bastoni's now got injured, and I don't have any subs. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. I mean, we have to just pray that that Bastoni injury isn't a serious one. But he's off the pitch, he's injured, and we're a goal down, we're a man down. It's all gone horribly wrong. We're probably about to concede here. Now all I can do is worry about how serious the Bastoni injury is. I'll spend £115 million on him. Imagine if he's out for the foreseeable future. Oh my word. Right, well, we're down a man. Lazio piling on the pressure a little bit. We're playing all out of shape, and just to rub a little bit of salt in the wound, they've scored from a corner. I don't even want to watch the highlight. I'm not doing it. You can't make me. I mean, 2 goals down. Could I have gone slightly less attacking after going a man down? Maybe, but I just spent 2 minutes getting everyone forward. I wasn't about to change it for anyone. Unfortunately, maybe I wish I had done, because now Immobile's through. Marco makes the save. Immobile still hasn't scored this season, right? No. Okay, well, that's fine then. That's a little win we can take. I mean, we've dealt so well with the last corner that I'm feeling well optimistic about this next one. We will get it away from danger, though. 4 minutes left. 2 goals down. Get me out of here. I don't want to be here. I hate Lazio. Why did I think this match was a good idea? Deadline day was a disaster. This match has been a disaster. If Bastoni's out for months, by the way, I'm gonna go cry, and I think that's acceptable. It's 3-0. I mean, in hindsight, playing 2 centre-backs wasn't very smart, but that's with hindsight. I mean, in general, 2 centre-backs isn't smart. I mean, who could have thought, skip this, who could have thought that this shape here wouldn't work? I mean, DeMarco's got a free kick. It's saved. That's the closest I feel like we've come to scoring all half. Full time here, 3-0. I just want to know how bad the injury is. Look at the XG story. Look at it. As soon as we went down a man, they created more. We should have won that match. I'm unhappy. I just feel sad. Bastoni, are you okay? He's out for 3 to 4 weeks. Yikes. I mean, silver lining, we're still 3rd in Serie A, for what it's worth. A few teams have games in hand, though, so don't read too much into that. Elsewhere, just worth mentioning, Champions League group stage has been drawn. We're in a group with Real Madrid, Marseille and Hoffenheim. I feel like Marseille and Hoffenheim should be rather beatable, so I don't intend to come back for too many Champions League games. And in fact, this season, I feel like at least the first half of the season before we get ready to crunch time, I don't want to be doing too many matches, if that makes sense. With that in mind, and looking ahead to the games on the horizon, I'm looking at games against the likes of Real Madrid, Inter and Roma, kind of at the end of November, start of December as maybe a time to come back. Yeah, I think that's when I might come back. The league table should be a little clearer then. Of course, if we start bottling everything in the Champions League, maybe we come back sooner. Let's hope it doesn't resort to that. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. Hopefully you liked my spicy deadline day deal. Wasn't quite Zaniolo, was it? But Joaquim Correa, I don't. I'm disappointed too. Thank you for watching today's episode. As always, we will be back with more soon. Until then, until next time, take it easy. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you all in a bit. I'm out.